What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Bluffton Tech Dynasty here on EA College Football 25. We just took our first loss of the season to the Ohio State in the last episode, but we cannot have any time to rest, as we will be taking on Iowa State here in our third game of the season. And the Iowa State Hawkeyes, they're certainly a solid football team. Iowa State comes in with an 82 overall squad, with an 84 offense and an 82 overall defense. However, on paper, we are actually rated heavily favored above this Iowa State squad. We are a few overalls higher. We have a better offense and we have a better defense. We just got to come out here and we got to execute a little bit better. And so hopefully we can come out here in this one, man, come out and get our second win of the season, but more importantly, get our first home win of the season. And we are still searching for our first power conference win in school history. All of our wins have been against members of the G5. So we look to change that here in this episode as we try to take another step forward as a program. And I hope you guys are excited for this one, man. And if you are, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you have to be brand new. Every new like, comment, and subscription helps out the channel tremendously. So if you do those three things real fast, it would help me out so much. But with that being said, no more of this self-promo stuff. Let's go ahead and dive in some game action here, man. Let's open things up here in our very first game of the season here at the Tech Center. Alright, boys, so it looks like Iowa, we ended up deferring to the second half, so Iowa State is going to start with the ball. We'll see what the Cyclones offense is capable of, and this is not what I want to see in order to start this game out, man. Robertson running it right down our throats as he picks up a solid 11-yard gain there to get things started here, as Iowa State is officially in business, but then they try to throw it for the very first time to Ben Nagoye, and Ben Nagoye, I don't know what happened there, to be honest with you. He might have just missed the ball. I don't know if he wasn't ready for it, but definitely has to go on that top 10, as with Darren Clayton getting the carry to pick up a few yards, all of a sudden we got him in a third down. So let's see if we can go ahead and get Iowa State off the field as they go with the halfback draw, somehow able to get skinny with it, and while Porter Lindstrid is able to bring Zach Robertson down, we do not bring him down in the nick of time though. So that means that Iowa State will keep the drive alive as they're able to get to the 40-yard line, as they'll throw over into the direction of one of our transfer players. That was actually Nicholas DeLoach, the transfer from Missouri, who allowed the completion there. But Iowa State really slowly but surely driving down the field, as this time Michael Parks gets involved. He had a solid game last time out for Iowa State, and now the Cyclones are in business. First and 10 with a few minutes into the game as Arias drops back, looks over to the left-hand side, but it's going to be incomplete. R.W. Cobb coming through with the breakup, and now it's second and 10. Arias in the shotgun formation, got a running back in the backfield, looking to the left-hand side, it's going to get a block, and that is going to be another first down for the Cyclones, who all of a sudden have a red zone opportunity, as Arias looks to finish that red zone opportunity off with a touchdown on the board, as the tight end Kevin Cahill runs over R.W. Cobb, and it sets up first and goal inside the 10. So here we go, first and goal from about the 8-yard line. It's going to be a run to the left-hand side. We lose out on contain, and Iowa State is going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Cyclones! And the Cyclones of Iowa State are going to get on the board first here in the Tech Center, in an absolutely methodical drive that we just saw unfold right before our eyes. So here we are, middle of the first quarter, as we get to touch the ball for the very first time today. And we get things started here with a solid run, not a liquid or a gas, as we'll be able to pick up a few yards there right from the jump. As now, 3rd and 8 coming up as Grunkmeyer is going to throw to the left-hand side and throws a dot over to the sideline. It was so close that they are actually taking a review of this call, but with that being said, the call ends up standing, and that's why we were able to be rewarded for a first down there, as we're really looking to bounce back from what we saw there in the previous game, you know, losing pretty badly to Ohio State, and Grunkmeyer in general really did struggle. He had 4 interceptions before we ended up benching him, as we'll go ahead and run it to the outside, and we'll get Will Peoples to nearly pick up the first down. Will Peoples silently having a very quality season. He's been averaging over 100 yards on the ground thus far on the season. A young season, but, you know, Will Peoples has definitely been doing his thing. As now, 3rd and inches coming up from the 10-yard line. Grunkmeyer drops back and loses concentration for a second, but J.D. Weeks is able to bring it back in. And now we're staring down a goal line opportunity, a chance to come out and put some points on the board for the Fighting Muskrats, where we'll find an open Maverick Bentley into the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. And the Fighting Muskrats are going to get on the board first. Able to get a touchdown on the board. And we're going to be all knotted up here in that first quarter of action. Definitely could be in store for a very good game between us and Iowa State. So what we have witnessed is that both teams have came out and scored on their opening possessions. But now how will teams respond in the second possession, as we nearly got an interception with Nash Birthday. The idea was there, just not the execution, but that will bring an end to the first quarter of action. As here's the team stat breakdown. Both teams moving the ball well. Whoever gets more key stops, feel like is going to win this game. So here we go, back into second quarter of the Tech Center, as we'll go ahead and get things rolling here with a 1st and 10 and throwing to the outside. That's going to be a good gain there for Jamie Arias, who is off to a pretty hot start here. He has completed 6 of his first 8 passes, and that is going to include this one as well, as the Marvin Holland tried his best to get that pass breakup, but just simply isn't going to happen. However, we will get the Cyclones in a 3rd and long opportunity, and we will round up and make a tackle. Nash Birthday with the finishing blow, and so we actually get that stop that we were looking for. But so does Iowa State. We actually end up going 3 and out on the following possession. So that does end up meaning that it's still going to be a tie game, and our defense is right back out onto the field. Definitely could be a little bit of concern if this trend continues. Iowa State putting together these methodical possessions, whereas, I mean, we just went 3 and out there on the last one, but it's not a concern right now, though, as that pass rush is definitely still there, man. Able to get to Jamie Arias for the first time today, and it was DJ Dean landing the finishing punches. So, 2nd and 19 as Arias is going to throw over the middle. Who's got a wide open receiver? And that's a first down for the Cyclones. Brad Perkins was the tight end to get wide but naked open. And he's been having a productive first half. Already 4 catches in this one, as it will set up a play action over the middle. And that is nearly completed, but DeMarvin Holland was able to deflect that pass away at the very last second. So now it's 2nd and 10 coming up. Arias going to try to set up yet another play action. Gets back into coverage, and that was just not a very well thrown ball. Although it looked like Nicholas DeLoach was ready to light him up like a Christmas tree, even if that catch was made. So either way, it's 3rd and 10 and a chance to get him off the field. Arias steps up in the pocket but doesn't like what he sees downfield. He has to go ahead and throw that pass away, but it's not considered intentional grounding because of the fact that there was a receiver in the area. So Iowa State, they will settle for a 50-yard field goal attempt, which is not a easy field goal attempt for college kickers, but for this guy, he's able to lace it right through. And just like that, the Iowa State Hawkeyes will have the lead once again with 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. So now we're just trying to go ahead and make something shake here in the final moments of the second quarter. That's really the key when it comes down to playing these power conference squads. You know, just really got to come out here and make sure that we come out and we beat our win these last 4 minutes. Win the last 4 minutes of this half, win the first 4 minutes of the second half. That's one of the more crucial times of the game, as we'll go ahead and run it up the gut for Will Peoples. And he does just enough to pick up the first down. So that'll take us to right about midfield, where we'll try to set up an RPO to the right-hand side. I wanted to get it out to CJ Peaks, but Grunkmeyer just kind of floated it a little bit too much. Probably should have been a little bit more of a bullet pass, to prevent that DB from getting in position. So now it's 3rd and 11, and we're trying to stay on the field as we throw to the left-hand side. We wanted Maverick Bentley with the contested catch, but can't quite haul it in. It ends up being dropped, actually. So we will have to punt the football away. And Iowa State with the opportunity to build upon a 3-point lead, as we simply don't have an answer for Bryce Perkins. Perkins able to have his 5th catch of the first half, and could be counting even more so, throwing deep downfield. He's got a man down on the sideline, and he's gone. Touchdown, Iowa State, and the Cyclones are going to be able to pull away quite a bit here. Make it a 10-point game, as there's Bryce Perkins, a freshman, mind you, going to work on our defense, man. That's his 6th catch of the half, and this one was a body blow. So here we are down by 10 as we try to respond before we go into the halftime locker room. It starts with getting our superstar Chris Gentry involved, who is going to be able to make a big catch there. As now we'll make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Grunkmeyer throws over the middle and finds Chris Gentry again for a solid gain, but not first down, so we end up using a timeout. Still 2 timeouts remaining, though, and won't have to worry about using either one here, as CJ Peaks is able to get out of bounds and able to save a little time off the clock. Grunkmeyer, meanwhile, firing over the middle, is able to get away from a couple of defenders, and Javon Moore has Bluffton Tech inside the 15-yard line. It's a red zone opportunity for the Fighting Muskrats, who came out here on the last possession, able to find a way to score a touchdown last time out. And it was cousin Maverick Bentley who was able to find the end zone last time that we were down here. But here we are with a couple of plays left in us here before we get into the end of the half, as Will Peoples could not find the end zone there. But you know what? One of the last plays before the half, we're going to be stubborn with running the ball, and Will Peoples is going to find his way in. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And Will Peoples will allow Bluffton Tech to respond right before we go into the halftime locker room, and this was a massive swing in momentum. We're going to get the ball to start the second half, so it gives us a chance to do a little bit of double dipping. We are hanging in there with the Iowa State Cyclones in spite of a brilliant performance from Jamie Arias, who has nearly 200 yards passing in the first half alone. So with that being said, it becomes more important that we come out here and finish with points on this first drive of the second half. And it starts with Grunkmeyer trying to find his man deep downfield. He's got Chris Gentry. He's been held quiet in the first half, but you can't hold him down forever. He's got that 97 speed for a reason, baby. And that is going to be a touchdown for your Fighting Muskrats, who will take their very first lead of the ball game. And now all eyes are on this defense, who was put to shreds in the first half, and led by their tight end Bryce Perkins. The freshman still having a big day. 7 catches, 129 yards. He's been a safety blanket for Jamie Arias. But now we're going to go ahead and try to run it on the ground. It's as a nasty spin move. One of the best linebackers in the MAC, Nash Burtay, who simply did not have any answers for the Braxton Miller's spin move. And the drive will continue because of that, as well as a couple of other plays as well. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line as Arias lines up in the shotgun again. Trying to get us off with the fake snap, and it's going to be a play action. Arias dumps it off to the tailback, who gets out on the perimeter. We take a bad angle, and thankfully, Nicholas Deloach is there for the tackle, but there's a flag on the field. And it's going to be brought back because it was a holding. Dodge a little bit of a bullet there, and that's going to make it 1st and 18, where they actually are going to run it on the halfback draw, making guys miss, and nearly picks up the 1st down anyway. So, instead of getting the 1st down right this instant, we're not there yet, but we're definitely trending in that direction, as we're now looking at 2nd and short, which makes this a premium play action down. They're not going to worry about any of that right this moment, as Zayo Robertson is just going to take it up the gut. And just, while we brought down his yards per carry average a little bit, he still gets a new set of downs for the Cyclones, as they'll throw again here on 1st and 10, and oh, that should have been intercepted right in the hands of Navarvin Holland, who even has that house call ability. It didn't help him bring it in, so he got some butterfingers on his hands. Hopefully that does not hurt us in a big way, as now 2nd and 10, Spencer Kishball, the transfer out of Coastal Carolina, able to bring him down in the backfield, sacking Jamie Arias. And we can now pin our ears back on a 3rd and 19. We'll see if this pass rush can go crazy. I'll ask my secondary to step back. Don't want to get beat deep, as they'll settle with a halfback screen. And they will, in fact, go ahead, punt the ball away back over in our direction. So we get the stop that we're looking for. However, we do end up going 3 and out on the next possession. So defense definitely holding on for dear life, it seems like. Hopefully the depth differences that we commonly see between power teams in a group of 5, hopefully that doesn't kill us too terribly much, as that's an incredible pass break up there on the perimeter. And it'll force the Cyclones into a 3rd and 5. Arias in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers. It's going to be another screen to the left-hand side, as it's going to be brought down. Looks like Nicholas Deloach, but there is a penalty, and it's actually Malik Moon. Malik Moon gets caught for an illegal contact. Seems like it happened after the halfback screen was completed. How dare our corners go out and try to make a play on the ball? That's crazy to me, but not hurting us right now. It leads to a 3rd and 11 anyways, as we're just trying to prevent the big gain. Throwing over the middle, and Nash Berte breaks it off. And once again, Iowa State is going to have to go ahead and settle for a punt. So, with that being said, our offense hasn't done too terribly much since the opening drive to start this 2nd half. So, going to be looking to change that here, as we'll dump it off over the middle. Seemed like there was some nice open space there for CJ Peak, so we're going to tank it. However, on a 2nd and short, they decide to press this deep downfield. We're going to go for it, and we find Javon Moore in the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. It's not just Chris Gentry that can kill you with his speed, because Javon Moore is a burner as well. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And we now enjoy our biggest lead of the game, now up by 11. Keep in mind, this is after Iowa State got up 17-7 late in the 1st half. So ever since that particular moment in time, Bluffton Tech's been able to put together 21 unanswered as we get into the final moments of the 3rd quarter, as they run it up the gut, and they'll pick up another 1st down. But that'll take us into the end of the 3rd quarter, though, as that will give us a 28-17 lead. Very close to possibly getting our first Power Conference win. We just need to get one more dub to pull it out. So here we go, boys. 1st and 10 coming up, as they're going to try to throw to the right-hand side right away. And that was just great one-on-one coverage there by Nicholas Deloach. The receiver just made a better play there. I mean, just a tip to the cap to that particular receiver right there. And now Iowa State trying to get its first points since with less than 2 minutes left in the first half. That's how long it's been since the last time Iowa State has scored. This might be their best opportunity in a while. We'll see if they take advantage. Arias in the play action. Throws to the left-hand side. And it's going to be dragged out of bounds. It looks like might have been drugged out of bounds by, could be one of the backup corners there. I'm not familiar with who 31 is, to be honest with you, but I'm familiar with Nash Burtevo. Able to lay the lumber, and he's going to be able to get down with Jamie Arias. And that will stymie the Iowa State offense. We'll see what they decide to do, and they're going to go for the field goal attempt here. This is 39 yards. The Iowa State kicker made it from 50 earlier, but can't sink this one. He misses the field goal attempt from 39 yards out, and it's going to remain a 2-possession game with less than 7 minutes left to play. So here we go, a chance to throw some haymakers. 1st and 10, Grungmeyer dropping back and finds Chris Gentry down the sideline, and he is gonna be gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And Bluffton Tech is starting to run away with it here in the Tech Center, as the Tech Center is now rocking a 35-17 lead. And now this Iowa State team might genuinely be cooked, down by 18, but we still have half a quarter left to play. I've seen some incredibly crazy things happening in modern college football, so you truly never know what happens in these next 6 minutes. As Arias is going to continue to drop back. We had pressure with Kitchball, but he's going to throw on the run. Just had to do a little bit better with the gap discipline, but we are going to make it even worse, as we're going to be called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It's going to be called on Shamir Dodson, the transfer out of Northwestern. He gets caught with the unsportsmanlike penalty. One more unnecessary roughness is going to kick him out of the game. So something to keep in mind of, and especially at this point in the ball game, if it gets to that point, then what we could very well see. Oh my goodness, how about some lumber being laid there? But yeah, Shamir Dodson gotta be careful. He gets caught with another unsportsmanlike penalty. He's going to be out for the rest of this game and the first half of our next matchup, and we start MAC play. Definitely want to make sure that we have guys ready to go there, as they want to go deep down the field, and that's going to officially be broken up. But at this juncture of the ball game, a field goal is not going to help them at all, so they're going to have to go for it here. 4th and 10, and oh my goodness, he's wide butt naked open. There was certainly a miscommunication, because RW Cobb thought he had the flat and didn't realize he was responsible for the deep zone. That's why we gave up that deep touchdown grab, and Kai Black, a senior, probably going to have his easiest touchdown pass of his career. So with that being said, we're only up by 11. So while we still feel like we are in a pretty comfortable spot, and also shout out to Grunkmeyer for hitting 1,000 yards already in 3 games. He keeps his up. He's on pace for a 4,000 yard regular season. As now, 2nd down coming up. Grunkmeyer drops back the pass. He's just going to throw it up to Chris Gentry. And it's plain and simple. When you see Chris Gentry one-on-one on the outside, you know what you gotta go ahead and do. You just gotta throw that thing up, and it's gonna go for a huge gain. So another touchdown for Bluffton Tech, as we will respond after Iowa State was able to convert on the 4th down. So it's going to be a 42-24 affair here, as Ben Nagoya, we haven't heard from him in a while, and he's came in He's averaged 100 yards going into this game, so it's been his quietest performance of the season so far. Well, he does at least make the catch there, but one of our DBs almost makes the grab himself. Nicholas DeLoach had his hands on it. He just simply could not bring it in. But instead, it's going to be 2nd and 10. So Arias breathing a sigh of relief after giving up, almost throwing an interception there on the last play, as Jamie Arias will at least make that completion there. They're throwing the ball a lot more than usual, and that's courtesy of the fact that, hey, we're down by 18. And so now Arias is essentially going to have to pull his inner Brett Favre before all the stuff like in Mississippi, because they need some points, and they certainly need some points quickly. 1st and 10 coming up as they'll throw to the right-hand side. That was a high throw, but it will still end up being completed anyways. But with that being said, the drive is threatening to stall out after 2 throwaways, as it's now 3rd and 10. Arias looking over the middle and tries to squeeze it in there. He wanted his trusty target in Bryce Perkins, but Perkins couldn't haul that one in. Double coverage. And now this is Iowa State's last gasp of air here. 4th and 10. Arias probably going to pass again. And it's going to be incomplete. Malik Moon is going to bring it down. And Bluffton Tech is going to do it. For the first time in program history, he's going to be able to take down a power conference team. Let's go, baby. Way to get a new milestone. Alright, boys, so what an amazing team win for us, as it was. I thought Iowa State might have us in that first half, I'm not gonna lie to you, but we were able to lock it in that second half, took our offense to a whole nother level, and we end up lighting the Iowa State Hawkeyes here at the Tech Center, able to come away with a big time win, as we're going to be able to get our very first win in school history against a power conference opponent. And I'm extremely proud of this program and how far we came. Another thing that I'm extremely proud of is the performance of Ethan Grunkmeyer. Now, Ethan Grunkmeyer, he had a terrible game in that last outing against Ohio State. Forced him to be benched in favor of JoJo Thompson. But Ethan Grunkmeyer responded extremely well. Goes 18 for 23, 450 yards through the air, and 5 touchdown passes. He put the ball in extremely good spots and did a fantastic job of moving the offense today. And it was a day in which Will Peoples did not have his best performance. Yes, he did end up with 20 carries on the day, but he averaged less than 4 yards a carry. He was having a hard time finding running room. JD Weeks, who didn't have nearly as many opportunities, looked a little bit better. He had 7.5 yards a carry. And then Grunkmeyer, well, he had negative rushing yards once again. For the receivers, Chris Gentry ends up breaking out again, even after the fact that we did end up seeing our guys, he got shut out pretty convincingly in the Ohio State matchup. Chris Gentry ended up with nearly 300 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. He also did it with 6 catches on the day, so definitely a certified baller. Javon Moore was able to find the end zone. He did it off of a 57-yard touchdown pass. And of course, we found Maverick Bentley in the end zone as well. He had 2 catches for 9 yards. Shout out to CJ Peaks as well for putting together a solid performance. As for our defense, I thought our defense played well, particularly in the second half today, as our defense was able to come out and make some big plays when it mattered the most. DeMarvin Holland, the junior redshirt from Maine, was able to lead the team in tackles in this one. He had 11 total tackles. Nash Bertay and Nicholas DeRoche wasn't too far behind. They each had 9 total tackles on the day. As for getting to this quarterback, a bunch of different faces were in the backfield in this one, as Nash Bertay and Spencer Kimball, a transfer, able to get some pressure with a full sack. But, you know, a lot of teamwork happening here defensively, as Jaleel Freeman, DJ Dean, R.W. Cobb, and the sophomore Cordell Torrance were all credited with half sacks today, letting it be known that we brought that pressure on that quarterback, even though we weren't necessarily able to generate any turnovers today. Now, as we advance onto a brand new week, we do get some exciting news from our conference office. Chris Gentry was named Player of the Week. Chris Gentry was able to have those 6 catches, half of which going for touchdowns, and I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Gentry was named the National Player of the Week, but he doesn't. He actually doesn't get it, which is completely wild to me, to be honest. So I'm genuinely curious who ended up getting it for the offensive side of the ball. It looks like it goes to Cole Hops, who had 9 catches for 235 yards and 6 total touchdowns. So yeah, I guess it was deserved, but it doesn't change the fact that Chris Gentry, he had himself an amazing performance in his own right. So next episode, we'll get things going here in conference play, as we will open things up here right in the Tech Center, as we will welcome in the Ohio Bobcats, who have not lost a game yet this season. Should be a good one, as our journey to the MAC championship starts with this game right here. I thought we exceeded expectations. We did not meet expectations last time around, and I think we have a team that's more than good enough to win the MAC this season. But we got to show it out on the field, and it starts in the next episode. But thank you guys so much for joining me as we took on the Iowa State Hawkeyes and took down America's team in a pretty sizable margin. But that being said, guys, appreciate y'all coming through. And with that being said, boys, like, any like, comment, and subscribe to this video would be so appreciated. It would mean the world to me from the bottom of my heart. With that being said, guys, this is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.